The idea, it's very simple. It's that if you think you can just get on a Delta Airlines flight from Paris and all of a sudden your kid becomes a U.S. citizen, that devalues the meaning of what it is to be a citizen.
Should we hold the children who do not choose to come here accountable for their parents' actions? There are some countries that...
Well,
like,
if you're already a citizen, you're a citizen. We're not going to revoke what's already happened.
If it becomes overturned, do we want to create second-class citizens who aren't a citizen of another country?
Yes, they're citizens of another country. Go back to your own country.
Except if they come from India, they come here and a child is born. That child is not a citizen of India, nor would they be a citizen of here. Then you have
No, they are a citizen of India. That's not true.
They're not.
Yes, they are. The parents are Indian citizens, and that's how it works in India. Is that the citizenship goes to the parents. So that's the point. Is that they can go back to their own country, and they can go live in India.
So the children should be deported as soon as they're born here.
Yes, with their parents, absolutely.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back here in the video. Today, we're going to be checking out Charlie Kirk destroys the birthright citizenship arguments. Okay, this is going to be amazing to watch. Let's get right into this video, guys.
Who's up next? Who disagrees? Yep.
Charlie, how you doing this afternoon? I am proud to be conservative. I'm proud to be an American, and I think we would agree on most things. But one thing that I'm here to dispute you on is
Israel?
Trump's executive order to overturn birthright citizenship.
Oh, okay.
Which you posted on X 2 months ago that the Supreme Court has never reviewed the 14th Amendment regarding birthright citizenship.
Not correctly, yeah.
Have you heard of Wong versus Kim Hark?
Yeah,
or Wong
it's a
versus
BS.
America. What about
I'm drawing from a lot of memory on this, so I'm going to have to plead a little bit of
That's fine.
memory erosion.
I have a shallow understanding. But both of those cases ruled that regardless of national origin, the children of immigrants will become U.S. citizens.
It's not just the children of immigrants. It's not just that.
It's the exception for diplomats.
The children of visitors become U.S. citizens.
Right, and
so for example, a pregnant woman can leave China who's 8 months pregnant, get a 90-day visitor visa, and then her baby becomes a U.S. citizen.
How is it being implemented now? If you come here illegally, your children are what? What are they?
They become U.S. citizens.
And that's the Supreme Court precedent. So the executive order to overturn it is illegal.
No, it's very much legal. It's challenging the prior Supreme Court decision. But let's go back to my example. You can fly to China and literally just come here as a visitor, show up at a hospital, and they will give you a U.S. passport, and your kid becomes a U.S. citizen. You understand we are one of the only countries in the industrialized world that has birthright citizenship.
And I'm proud to be that. We are a country of immigrants. See,
no, we're not. No. We're a country of settlers, not of immigrants.
Okay.
That's a big distinction. Let me tell you the difference. Settlers are people that build a new country that was barren. Immigrants come to a country already built. The people who built this country, they went west to an unconquered, barren country and built a new society. Immigrants helped enrich it. They helped grow it upon that. But the foundation of America were settlers, not immigrants. That is a talking point that is overused way too much.
We have no unifying religion, no unifying race, no unifying national origin. But what we do share is that if you were born on the soil, you have an inherent birthright to the benefits of American citizenship. And when you
that's a huge mistake.
And that's a huge mistake. So you disagree with 200 years of precedent.
Yes.
Have you read what was discussed during the passage of the 14th Amendment?
The founding fathers, first and foremost, never wanted all of a sudden a pregnant woman to be able to get on, they didn't have airplanes back then, go across the ocean, and all of a sudden they become a U.S. citizen.
Those who drafted the 14th Amendment did.
Yeah, the 14th Amendment was in what year?
1866.
Yeah, exactly. Way past the founding era.
So you don't agree with
the 14th Amendment was largely applicable to free slaves.
I understand that was a purpose, but it has also been extended to those who come illegally.
No, you're right. It has been wrongly extended. You know the 14th Amendment?
By the Supreme Court.
Exactly, and they got it wrong. Just like how they got Roe versus Wade wrong, and we got that repealed. The point being is the Supreme Court can get things wrong. The idea, it's very simple. It's that if you think you can just get on a Delta Airlines flight from Paris and all of a sudden your kid becomes a U.S. citizen, that devalues the meaning of what it is to be a citizen.
Yeah. Should we hold the children who do not choose to come here accountable for their parents' actions? There are some countries that...
Well, if you're already a citizen, you're a citizen. We're not going to revoke what's already happened.
If it becomes overturned, do we want to create second-class citizens who aren't a citizen of another country?
Yes, they're citizens of another country. Go back to your own country.
Except if they come from India, they come here and a child is born. That child is not a citizen of India, nor would they be a citizen of here. Then you have
No, they are a citizen of India. That's not true.
They're not.
Yes, they are. The parents are Indian citizens, and that's how it works in India. Is that the citizenship goes to the parents.
Yeah.
So that's the point. Is that they can go back to their own country and they can go live in India.
So the children should be deported as soon as they're born here.
Yes, with their parents, absolutely.
You don't think that we should give them? We shouldn't encourage them to become productive members of American society?
No.
Do you believe in the American dream?
Yes, of course, for American citizens, not for every person around the planet.
I agree. I think we all agree.
Yes, it's not our job to open up our borders to every sad story around the planet.
Exactly, the adults, but the children did not choose to cross the border. They did not choose to come here.
Okay.
They have been placed here.
Exactly. So don't punish them by separating the mom and dad. They can all go back to their country of origin. It's very simple.
But that's not the law. That's not how it's been. Do you think that would be productive for American society?
Hold on. That's an interpretation of the 14th Amendment. We're talking about two different things. We're talking about birthright citizenship, and then we're talking about kids that are crossed when they're already born. The point being is this, and President Trump's executive order is phenomenal. It goes back to this very basic question. What does it mean to be a citizen? And we're throwing around citizenship like frisbees every day. You're a citizen, you're a citizen, you're a citizen. And it dilutes the meaning of the citizen, of what it means to be a U.S. citizen. We need to bring it back to actually say, hey, you have to earn your citizenship. You are not given your citizenship.
So the children a child doesn't choose to be born between someone who comes here illegally and someone who is already a citizen. That person did not choose that. There's no accountability.
Yes, and there's
in that
kids
action.
in Namibia that didn't, choose to be born in Namibia.
Exactly.
It's not our
But
concern
that's
to
the great
import
thing
them.
about America is that by being here, you offer them the extension for the
See,
opportunities.
I
that are
disagree.
associated
I
with
think
American
that
citizenship.
I think on the surface it's a great thing about America. I think it's us having generosity being turned into compromising our values used against us. At times, generosity can turn into an overindulgence. You could become too generous, where you are borrowing money that you don't have. We're doing that. Where you're giving citizenship where it dilutes. Yes, we are a generous nation, and our virtues have become our vices.
What does it dilute? What does a child being born here having birthright?
You know what? You know what it
What
dilutes?
does that take away from us?
It first of all,
they pay taxes.
First of all, number one, it dilutes a lot.
What does it dilute?
Can I get to it? Dilutes a lot. Number one, it dilutes legal immigrants that are full adults that had to apply to come
And
here.
I agree. So we should stop illegal immigration.
Well,
but there will
legal.
always be
I said
some.
legal
I
immigration.
agree.
Right. Number two is that I actually want the idea of being a U.S. citizen, that you are here or born here because your parents did something to allow you to be here. Not just that you got on a nonstop flight from Seoul, South Korea, and you happen to fall and your water breaks and you're suddenly a U.S. citizen. It devalues the entire meaning of what it means. Everybody here has a unique story of what your parents did for allow you to live in this country. That's called a social compact. Some of you guys, your parents came here, and your ancestors came here in the 1700s. Some of them came here in the early 1900s. But if all of a sudden you can gain entry and cut in line, it dilutes the sacrifices primarily of the greatest generation from World War II that allowed us to live here, and it is an insult to them to say that we can live in a free society. I want to get to the next question. Thank you very much.
Makes sense. It's as simple as that. Like, I remember during this time, was it 2010 or 26? I don't know. One of them. I was hearing the statements. I think it was 2010 or 12. One of them. I don't know if I'm correct. You guys can correct me. I was hearing the statements of like, you can come to America when you're like 7 months or 6 months. Then you give birth to your child. Then you automatically become a citizen. I was like, that's crazy. Just like that. That's crazy. Like, I heard that statement from a lot of people from Africa. Like, I'll be like, why are people doing this? Why are people saying that? Like, citizenship by birth. It's amazing. Like, a kid that knows nothing they give birth to you in this place because you are being born here. Now you're automatically a citizen. Like, that's crazy to hear. But if you dig deep, it makes no sense. Someone can just board a flight from his own hometown, fly to another man's land. Let's just don't say America. She puts a bet, and automatically the child becomes a citizen. Nah, it's for me. Personally speaking, I do not support that. For me, after the woman have given birth, she should go back to her hometown. It's as simple as that. For me, if you ask me, personally speaking, from aside Charlie Kirk statements, me personally, once the woman have given birth, back to your hometown, straight, with your kids or with your kid. If she give birth to 2, good. She give birth to 1, good too. Back to your hometown. If you leave your hometown because of the health issues, that your health issues are terrible, that a lot of people, you guys don't have good health facilities and stuff like that, you choose to come to another man's hometown and put to bed. It's well accepted. You can come to another man's hometown and put to bed. But after you have delivered, take you and the baby back to your hometown. You don't automatically become a citizen. You understand? If not, you devalue it. That is the thing. You just don't give citizenship. Just take. You're free citizen. You're a free citizen. No. You devalue the meaning of that citizenship. you bring it down, you reduce it by you doing that. America is massively populated. 300 and something million people are in America as a whole, which is really big. It's a diverse country. A lot of countries from different places around the world, people want to become a citizen of America. We are over how many billions people in the world? Was it 2.something billion? I don't know. Or 7.something billion. I don't know the exact stats, but we are massive in the world. America alone, space is over 300 million people. 300 something million people. And a lot of countries around the entire globe want to come to America. So if Americans are accepting, or we are accepting citizenship by birth, check the stats, check the numbers. It is going to increase massively. And once the child is already automatically a citizen, you can't tell the parents to go back to their hometown and leave the child there. No. The parents will work their way to become a citizen, which is awkward. So what I'm trying to say is that, final thought is that this guy argument right here, he's coming from a way of being triggered. If you hear his statement, he was kind of like triggered. He was kind of like angry, pissed at Charlie, that Charlie didn't want to accept this fact that birthright citizenship should be legal. For me, it's terrible. It should not be legal. It should be illegal. If you want to be a citizen of America, you have to work your way to become a citizen. It's not something everyone should get access to. The reason why I say you should work your way is because not everyone ought to have access to it. Some countries, you stay in that country for 10 years, then you apply for citizenship. Some countries is way more than that. Some countries, you have to bring funds, money, to become a citizen. You know, all countries have their own different requirements. America too have their own different requirements. Why will America be different? Why in the world will you say citizenship by birth? Do you know what that means? Mass migration will surely occur. You understand? So I love the entire argument. I love that how Charlie actually handled him in a very respectful manner. But the guy was actually triggered. I noticed the anger and the way he spaced. He went to interrupt Charlie several times. He was actually angry. But Charlie don't want to support his own narrative. But at the same time, the video was actually beautiful to watch. Comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video to as many as you can. Subscribe to our channel, guys. You know how to do it. We'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay safe.